Let's now begin with the biggest story that we're tracking at this hour, Oxfam's latest global inequality report, which lays bare the staggering wealth extracted from India by the United Kingdom during their colonial rule between the years of 1765 and 1900. More than 64 trillion, or nearly 65 trillion, 64.82 to be precise, was taken from India, with over half of that wealth, $33.8 trillion, benefiting the richest 10% of the United Kingdom. Now, the report highlights how colonialism entrenched systemic inequality. Practices like resource exploitation, suppression of local industries, and monopolies by companies like the East India Company continue to benefit the global North at the cost of the global South. India's economy suffered massively under colonial policies. Its share of global industrial output plummeted from 25% in the year 1750 to just 2% by the year 1900, thanks to quote-unquote protectionist measures that crippled Indian textiles. Millions of laborers were forced into exploitative work on colonial plantations and infrastructure projects. Oxfam also points to modern institutions like the WTO, the World Trade Organization, and the World Bank, accusing them of perpetuating that global inequality. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the blocking of intellectual property waivers for vaccines by wealthy nations revealed the stark north-south divides of the globe. Even today, wages in the global south remain drastically lower for the same work done in the global north. The report also throws light on environmental and health legacies of colonialism, including the Bengal famine of the year 1943, which claimed 3 million lives, and the ongoing effects of fossil fuel exploitation that began during the colonial era. Now, as Oxfam raises the question of accountability for these enduring inequalities, the debate remains: how do we address a history that still shapes our world today? We have Professor Kapil Kumar, veteran historian and former chair, Professor Center for Freedom Struggle and Diaspora Studies, and also a special fellow, Prime Minister's Museum and Library. Thank you, Kapil, Professor Kapil, for taking time out to be with us. I'm going to begin by asking you a simple question. This entire colonial era literally defines the way the playing field is as far as global economics is today, and the effects of it, unless otherwise there's corrective action being done, will continue to perpetuate itself over and over.
You see, this is a loot, and England survives because of this loot, even today. And I'll explain to you, because it is very essential to know also that how this loot was carried out on the instructions of the Crown, the British Empire Crown. East India Company earlier used to take gifts for the royalty and all, used to give them, but the loot was confined to their directors and all. But after 1857, when the Crown took over India, Bharat, and had this Viceroy and Governor General, their representative, in every war, they called it a war booty. And Queen Victoria had a share in this war booty. If you look at 1857, the amount of treasures that were looted in India, of the princes who fought against them, of the Indian aristocracy who fought against them, a share went to Queen Victoria. The documents have all come out. Hazrat Mahal's treasure was looted in Delhi from a private house. It went to them. Another thing what they used to do, that any city which they will capture after the war, they will keep the prize agents there. The photographs and all are even available of those prize agents also. And these prize agents will list the loot which was carried out. First 2 days were given to the white soldiers to loot under the British. And then the third day and fourth day, the cities were left to the Indian Bharatiya traitors who were in the British army at that time for them to loot the people. This is how they built there. Whereas Kavar Singh's treasure went. Where did Rani? You know, Rani Lakshmi Bai's treasure and the loot in Jhansi was auctioned at that time for 14 crore rupees. The ornaments, the elephants, and other precious things. And what these officers, you know, Hastings was even tried in England for the loot and all these aspects over there. Because he didn't give the share to others and he kept the share with him
Right.
of
Professor,
this loot which. So this was one way. The other ways were the trade tariffs. And you look at the balances. You see, earlier,
right.
when they came here for trade, they used to bring gold and silver from England to India.
Yeah.
And the balance of trade was in our favor.
Yes, we
And
were
then,
contributing, Professor Kapil Kumar, we were contributing at one stage 25% of the global trade. And eventually, by the time colonialism ended, it was 2% or even less. Now, the question here is that they say that this loot of the UK, $33.8 trillion, which went to the richest 10% of the UK, if you convert them into 50 British pound notes, you can carpet the city of London with it. That's the amount of loot that just the richest. The next big beneficiary is apparent to be the middle class, the upcoming middle class of UK of that time who continue to benefit from it even today. Even today, the richest families in UK can trace their wealth back to slavery and colonialism. That's the reason why, Professor Kapil Kumar, the question I'm asking is that, is it time for corrective action? Now you have an Oxfam report that's saying something that's already been said many times before.
you see what corrective action they will take. There is another loot, I believe, which is not included in this loot. Millions of pounds are lying in the Bank of England. And you know from where? The
Where?
Indian indentured laborers
Wow.
who went to Suriname, who went to Guyana, who went to Fiji, who went to Mauritius and other places. When they will send back home, the clerks of these banks will either not jot down the addresses correct or will not give them the proper documentation. And that money never reached India. Or in many cases, the villages which they had burned in UP and Bihar and all these places in 1857. So even these indentured laborers sending home, that money never reached them. Professor Lopesh Roopnarayan in US has done a big research on that. Will they start as a corrective action by returning those monies either to the Indian communities in those colonies or back to India? Do you think they will do it? And what they will do when rape jihad is taking place today in England? England is becoming Englistan. Do you think they will take any corrective action on this? In every household of England, of the aristocracy, you will find items stolen from India. How was this Kohinoor taken, which is the in their crown? How was the Kohinoor taken? From a child Sikh emperor. From a child Dalip Singh. How was it forced over there? They took the
Right.
They're the international looters, you see.
Right.
Which country they didn't loot? Tell me. Which colony they didn't loot? Name me a single colony which they didn't loot.
Right.
And this loot continued till 47. And I'll give you another example of that loot. Through negotiations, when they gave Dominion status on 15th August 1945, you know what was the one of the conditions they forced to be accepted? That all the British who had served in India, their pensions will be paid after 47 by the Indian government.
Right. Right. Professor Kapil Kumar, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us and share your thoughts on that big report by Oxfam on global inequality that we're tracking. Time now to shift focus away from that onto the big judgment in the RG car case. Judge Anirban Das of the Additional District and Sessions Court in Sialdah on Monday sentenced the accused in the RG car rape and murder case to life imprisonment. The court also ordered the Bengal government to give 17 lakh rupees to the victim's family. Earlier, the judge heard the convict Sanjay Roy's arguments, who repeatedly said that he was being framed. The judge in the observation said that it was not a normal case. The case pertains to the rape and murder of a female postgraduate doctor at the state-run RG Kar Medical College and Hospital on the 9th of August 2024. Roy, a civic volunteer, is a lone accused in the case and was arrested the next day. The same court had convicted him on the 18th of January.
कोर्ट के जजमेंट के ऊपर हम कुछ नहीं कह सकते। हम चाह रहे थे कि हाईएस्ट पनिशमेंट हो। हाईएस्ट पनिशमेंट अभी नहीं हुआ। अब कोर्ट का वर्डिक्ट है। कोर्ट के खिलाफ तो हम बीइंग ए इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट आई कांट से एनीथिंग।
ये बहुत ही विचित्र जजमेंट है, मैं ये कहूँगी। किस आधार पर जीवन लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट का सेंटेंस? अभी इसी समय केरला कोर्ट ने एक केस में जहां एक लड़की ने अपने बॉयफ्रेंड को पॉइजन किया, उसको डेथ सेंटेंस दे दिया। इस केस में इनको लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट दे दिया। इससे बिल्किस बानो के केस में रिलीज ही कर लिया। इससे बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है कि सेंटेंसिंग की सवाल पर, विशेषकर बलात्कार और मर्डर केसेस के सवाल पर पूरा मनमाना चल रहा है। एक सब्जेक्टिव इंटरप्रिटेशन है लॉ का। ये तो एक बात है इस केस के, आरजी कोर्ट केस का। और दूसरी बात ये है कि ये पूरा केस की जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और सीबीआई ने दोनों ने केवल एक व्यक्ति पर फोकस किया है, संजय राय। वो तो दोषी है ही, लेकिन उसके पीछे क्या नेक्सस है? ये कैसे हो सकता है कि पब्लिक हॉस्पिटल में रेप और मर्डर किसी को पता नहीं? बहुत सारे सवाल है जिसका जवाब न ही ये जजमेंट न ही इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सामने आ रहा है। इसलिए ये किसी भी हालत पर इस पूरे केस के बारे में, ये पूरा जो केस है इसमें अन्याय के सिवा कुछ नहीं है। घोर अन्याय, मैं ये कहूंगी।
आपका एडिशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट और सेशन जज सियालदा 1 नंबर कोर्ट आज आरजीकर कांडों का जो अभियुक्त संजय राय, उनको जो सजा का म्याद सुनाया, वो सजा का म्याद दिया। बीएनएस का जो 64 है, 64 में जो रेप के बारे में उनका जो जाबोजीवन अर्थात जाबोजीवन उनका सजा दिया, उसके साथ फाइन किया। 66 जो है रेप एवं उसी टाइम में जो टॉर्चर के बारे में उनका डेथ हुआ, इसलिए उनका अमृत्यु जब तक जिंदा रहेगा तब तक उनको जेल में रहने रहेगा। एक ही साथ उनको फाइन भी किया। और 103 का एक जो बीएनएस एक्ट है, वो उसके बारे में जो मर्डर है उसके बारे में, उसके लिए उनका जाबोजीवन कारावास का सजा सुनाया। एक ही साथ
there has been a severe laches from the part of the investigation. There is a severe laches which we pointed out in our argument, and today is the result of such a investigation, whereby we always prayed for the highest level of punishment, but the learned court has given the life sentence of the accused person, and we have pointed out the laches of the investigation that created a confusion in the mind of the learned court. That is the reflection of the judgment.
By the
Later
means of confusion, this judgment has come.
Later the judgment will come, the copy of judgment, and the elaborate part of it will explain as soon as we get the copy. Thank you.
I walked on the roads of West Bengal in support of capital punishment against Sanjay Roy myself, but it depends upon the judges and how the case is handled. All other capital punishments in the state have been pronounced within a maximum span of 54 days. I want capital punishment, and that is what I support in this very case. Let us see what happens.
बड़ी दुख की बात है। मुझे लगता है इस पूरे मामले में जो कोलकाता पुलिस ने जांच की, शायद वही सीबीआई के सामने पेश की गई, और उस जांच में जो कमी थी, उस कमी के कारण इतना बड़ा एक केस जो कि पूरी तरह से ऐसा बनता है कि उनको लाइफ इम्प्रिजनमेंट ना होकर उसको डेथ पेनल्टी मिलनी चाहिए थी, वो नहीं हुई। तो मुझे लगता है जो उस महिला को जो हेल्प मिलनी चाहिए थी या परिवार को हेल्प मिलनी चाहिए थी, आज परिवार भी दुखी होगा और हम सब जो इस केस को फॉलो कर रहे थे हम सब दुखी हैं। एक जजेस की इनसेंसिटिविटी भी बताती है कि इतना बड़ा केस रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर नहीं कहा गया, तो वो भी एक इनसेंसिटिविटी है जुडिशरी की। और कुछ तो लूप होल्स इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पुलिस ने छोड़े होंगे, और पुलिस ने जो भी चीज़ें सीबीआई को पेश की होंगी, क्योंकि जो शुरू में था वो ही पूरा कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ हो गया था, सीन भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ हो गया था, जो क्राइम सीन था वो कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ हो गया था, वहाँ कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू हो गई थी, वहाँ काफ़ी कुछ तो मिला ही नहीं था सीबीआई को, उससे पहले सफाई हो चुकी थी, धो दिया गया था। तो पूरी एक सरकार जैसे वेस्ट बंगाल की सरकार है वो इसमें कुछ लोगों को बचाना चाहती थी, और वही हुआ।
The investigation into the shocking attack on Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan continues to unfold, with significant developments emerging in the case. In the latest, the accused, who is a 30-year-old man identified as Shariful Islam Shehzad Muhammad Rohilla Amin Fakir, will likely be taken to Khan's house to recreate the crime scene as part of the police probe during his 5-day custody. Now, sources have released more information on Shehzad. He was a wrestler by training, had been living in India for approximately 5 to 6 months, working for a housekeeping agency. Shehzad gained access to Saif's home by climbing through a bathroom window after navigating the building's duct area. Once inside, he confronted Saif's maid, Lima Phillips, demanding 1 crore rupees. In fact, the police have confirmed that Shehzad intended to hold Saif's son Jahangir hostage to demand money, but panicked when Lima resisted. When Saif intervened, Shehzad attacked him with a knife, inflicting multiple stab wounds 5 times to his back alone before fleeing the scene. Sources further indicate that the accused needed a fake passport to return to Bangladesh and was trying to arrange funds for the same. While these are the details of the attacker, there is more about how the attacker went around wrecking one of the poshest localities of Mumbai and, in fact, India, Bandra. On the day of the attack itself, he conducted reconnaissance on several celebrity homes, including those of Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan, before choosing to break into Saif Ali Khan's apartment. The accused was seen sitting multiple times on the platform in front of Salman Khan's house, Galaxy Apartments, again in Bandra, planning how to enter Salman's home. According to sources, upon seeing a significant police presence outside Salman's building, the accused changed his plan due to fear of being caught. Another surveillance footage captured on the 14th of January shows him surveying Shah Rukh Khan's house, Mannat, as well. Meanwhile, sources also revealed that accused Shehzad was aided by 5 individuals during his stay in Mumbai. 3 have been named so far: Veeru Yadav, Ankit Pandey, and Ram Ekka. Shehzad gained their trust by portraying himself as a Bengali labourer struggling to support his ailing parents. Pandey and Yadav not only helped him secure a rented room in Worli in Mumbai, but also vouched for him to the landlord. Shehzad shared the space with 3 others, including another man from Bengal. Now, after the conclusion of the arguments in the Sharon murder case, today the Nayatinkara Additional Sessions Court pronounced the sentence for SS Grishma and other accused in the case. Sessions Court pronounced capital punishment for Grishma. The court also congratulated the Kerala police for unravelling the entire conspiracy. In fact, the court said to Grishma and I quote, cannot give the leniency of age to Grishma. In this case, this is a rarest of rare case, unquote. Remember, Grishma was found guilty of abduction, poisoning and murder of her partner and misleading the police. Grishma's uncle and third accused, Nirmala Kumaran Nair, was convicted for evidence tampering, while her mother, Sindhu, the second accused, was acquitted due to lack of evidence. In London, the screening of Bollywood actor Kangana Ranaut's film Emergency faced unexpected disruption on Monday when pro-Khalistan activists stormed into Harrow Cinema. The group interrupted the film shouting slogans like Khalistan Zindabad while engaging in heated verbal spats with the audience. The incident was captured in multiple viral videos showing the activists barging into the cinema hall mid-screening, demanding that the show be stopped. Emergency, Kangana Ranaut's directorial debut, depicts the life of former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and the political turmoil of the emergency period. The film, which finally released on the 17th of January after facing numerous delays and controversies, has sparked strong reactions since its first look. Was the disruption a protest against the film's subject matter, or does it reflect a broader trend of growing tolerance towards Khalistani activism in the West? The debate remains open. Time now to get you all the latest on the big inauguration in the U.S. of Donald Trump as president. Donald Trump is set to be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America, marking the start of his second term in office and capping one of the most remarkable comebacks in American political history. In keeping with tradition, the outgoing President Joe Biden will attend the symbolizing peaceful transfer of power. This marks a stark contrast to the year 2021, where Trump skipped Biden's inauguration. Following the swearing-in, Trump will deliver his inaugural address. He has described his speech as a call for unity, signaling a shift from the tone of his 2017 American Carnage speech. Big names are expected to attend the event, and that include the likes of Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, each pledging $1 million. Uber and its CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, also contributed $1 million. Trump has also pledged to sign multiple executive orders on day one, targeting issues like border security and energy production. As Washington prepares for this historic day, all eyes are on the nation's capital to witness the next chapter in American leadership.
Trump. All I have to say is we have got to take America back again, and Trump did it! We love you, Trump! We love you!
Donald Trump held his Make America Great Again victory rally on Sunday night at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., celebrating his imminent return to the White House. Over 20,000 supporters packed the arena, which also serves as the venue for Monday's inauguration festivities. Trump took a victory lap, emphasizing his electoral win and laying out ambitious plans for his second term. Trump said, and I quote, "The curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline." He promised a new era of strength, prosperity, dignity, and pride.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We won. We won.
Trump reiterated his pledge to launch what he called the largest deportation exercise in American history, vowing to tackle immigration aggressively. He also touched upon international issues, promising to end the war in Ukraine and avert the Third World War.
Perhaps most beautiful of all, this week we achieved an epic ceasefire agreement as a first step toward lasting peace in the Middle East. And this agreement could only have happened as a result of our historic victory in November. But I'm glad to report that the first hostages have just been released. And who knows what's going to happen? I know that Biden is saying that they made the deal. Well, you know, I mean, that deal should have, first of all, it would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened. There was not even a thought of it.
Now, Trump promised the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency, focusing on reshaping U.S. immigration and trade policies while ensuring economic growth.
Our incoming administration has achieved all of this in the Middle East in less than 3 months without being president. We've achieved more without being president than they've achieved in 4 years with being president. We're going to do a lot of things. You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them. Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. Thank you. The border security measures I will outline in my inaugural address tomorrow will be the most aggressive, sweeping effort to restore our borders.
Now, that rally served as a prelude to the iconic inauguration. Trump told thousands of roaring supporters that he would usher in a new era of American prosperity when he takes office, while taking a victory lap.
I'm thrilled to be back with so many friends, supporters, and true American patriots on the eve of taking back our country. That's what we're going to do, take back our country. Tomorrow at noon, the curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline, and we begin a brand new day of American strength and prosperity, dignity and pride. Bringing it all back. Once and for all, we're going to end the reign of a failed and corrupt political establishment in Washington, a failed administration. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. We're going to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, liquid gold. We're going to bring back law and order to our cities. We're going to restore patriotism to our schools, get radical left, woke ideologies the hell out of our military and out of our government. And we are going to make America great again.
And with that, it's a wrap here from my side. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.